So hello and welcome back to another video. Now today I've come down to a mark to do some more lure fishing for bass. I've brought with me my light rod today, and on there I'm going to be starting with a Samson Shad. This is the 35 gram version in the sandy colour. Now I've not been doing a lot of bass fishing at all lately. I reckon I've been out maybe 3 or 4 times over the last 5 weeks. Each of those times I've been using my heavier lure rod, the long cast. So yeah, this rod actually hasn't been used in quite some time. Pretty excited about today, just to throw a few lures, have a bit of fun, and see if we can locate any bass. Now, the weather conditions, the sea conditions are pretty good. There's a nice bit of chop to the water. It's a big tide, so we got a lot of tide moving through. I'm going to be fishing a couple of different areas here. It is bright sunshine, so it's nice and clear. But yeah, with that little chop in the water, hopefully it's going to give any fish that are here that bit of confidence under that cover, and yeah, they're not going to hesitate to hit any lures. Now I'm going to start by fishing some slightly deeper water. I've got a pretty frustrating wind today. Now I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more behind me, but it's quite a crosswind. I was tempted to bring the heavier lure rod so I could ping out some heavier lures, but I've decided to go light today. Now when I say light, I'm using a 9-foot Shimano Airnos 7 to 35 gram rod. I've got a Shimano Vanford 4000 on there, 20 pound braid, and a 20 pound fluorocarbon leader. And as I said, at the moment I've got that subsurface topwater lure, the Samson Shad. So I've got a variety of lures with me. I've even got some soft plastics. Whether I'll throw them out against the wind, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to get a lure in the water straight away, and hopefully we can find a bass or two. So I've got the head cam with me today, the head strap. I'm going to see how this goes with the filming. Now, like I said, that wind is literally whipping right across me, and it's a lot stronger than I thought it was going to be, but we're just going to have to deal with that. I can see that wind taking the lure quite a bit, so I'm going to have a lot of slack line, but hopefully I can get a nice action on that lure. I can feel the tide taking it, and this is a 35 gram lure, so I'm hoping I don't regret my decision to not bring the heavier gear today. Oh, that wind and tide together really taking that lure. Proving a little difficult just to stay in contact. Got a lot of slack line. I'm just going to have to work through it today and see what works. I think I may have a couple of metals on me, so might even ping one of those out after. But once that tide drops a little bit, there's a gully I'm going to cross and just hop onto some other rocks, and I may have the wind a little bit behind me there, so give it about 20 minutes or so and then go check that out. Fish it on. Whoa. Well, I went for a... Well, where's that going? I went for a different technique in the retrieve then. Where the heck is it? That's a nice sized bass, actually. Bloody hell. How am I going to get this up? Right, I'm doing my best. Oh, where's he going? It's actually an alright sized bass, that. Come on. Let me get up on there. That's a beautiful bass. Right. That there is a beautiful bass. Taking on the Samson Shad. Now, I hope you can see this all right on the head cam, but yeah, what a great start that is. Now, I went for a different technique then. I was casting the lure out and fishing it 2 or 3 feet below the surface.
That time I just booted it out there and I started working it on the top and sort of just subsurface, but mostly on the top. And this fine bass come up and smashed it, so that's a beautiful fish, that. First bass of the session. That's a lovely sized bass, that. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to say it's about 53 maybe. But taking on that Samson Shad. Oh, he's kicking. Well, how about that? What a beautiful fish. So I'm just going to get a rough measure of this fish. Now, I reckon, let's put that like that. It's kind of as straight as I'm going to get it. All right, buddy, stay still, stay still. So that's on 0. What we're saying, 52. We'll give it 52. That's what it looks like to me. Could be 53, but there we go. What a lovely bass. Let's get it back. So I'm just going to put him back in here. I'm just going to drop him in. And check out those blue fins under the surface. That is absolutely brilliant. So what a start. Now you can probably tell it's pretty windy here. Now it's limiting me to get proper castaway to sort of one area, which is where I've had bass before, so I really don't mind that. Now what I was doing was working that lure a little deeper, and then I just decided to have one cast where I was just bouncing it, sort of popping it along the top, and yeah, letting it sink sort of 1-2 inches, but mostly working it on the surface. And then that fish took pretty close in. So the 35 gram shad's proven all right against this wind. I'm going to get it back in the water, see if we can find a couple more. It's been a good start. So back in we go. Now I'm holding the rod tip pretty high up and just tapping that lure, and it's just sort of splashing on the surface and then an inch or two under. Now I have got a lot of line out the water, but casting in this direction, got the wind behind me, so I'm not getting much of a bow in the line. It's such good fun catching bass on light gear again. I've not been out bass fishing in a good 2 weeks, and over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks I've been using the heavier gear. I've not used this rod in quite some time, so yeah, to hook a nice 52-53 centimetre bass on it certainly put a bend in the rod. Now this is a good thing about these shads as well. If the bass aren't hitting top waters for any reason, you can just work them lower in the water column and they can be really effective. I'm going to be using these throughout the whole winter, because since you can use them as sort of like a crankbait almost, I'm really interested to see how successful they're going to be throughout the winter months. I'm sure they're going to be great, especially the all white versions. I've always been a big fan of a white lure in winter, in the rough stuff. So I've just had 4 or 5 more casts with the sandy shad, and just out of curiosity and interest, I'm going to stick I think this one's 25 gram, this is the mullet version. So I'm going to put this on and see if we can find a bass on that. So I'm just going to have a few casts with a floating top water lure here. See that bird eyeing my lure up already. Now this is into more shallower area, but only 10 meters in front of me there's like a little reef here, so just thought it'd be worth a few goes. Just work that surface lure, see if anything creeps up. and then I'm going to head over to the other side in a minute and give it a go there. I'm just working that lure, a few taps, and just pause it, just get that really erratic movement going. I know I look like a bit of an idiot with a camera on my head, but decided to go for that today instead of the chest strap, just to see how the footage comes out, and I don't mind looking like a bit of an idiot. Now I've had a few more casts. I only had 3 or 4 casts with the Pachenko here, and I had about 5 casts with the Shad in the mullet colour, but I'm going to head over to the other side now because we're approaching low water, so I'll be able to get across there now, and I'm going to be casting into sort of a sandy area, but it's got rough patches and there's a reef really far out which I'm not going to be able to hit today. Last time when I had my heavier rod here, I could get the lure right in front of that reef, and I actually hooked up into the nicest bass that I had in that session right before that reef. But I'll go give it a go now. It's going to be crosswind coming over. I might keep this on for now and see how we go, and then I'll chop and change if I need to. Oh, that wind is howling. If I hold that lure up, you'll probably see it blowing. Wind's coming straight across me here. Now, I might have to go for a heavier lure possibly, but let's give this a few casts. Probably going to get taken in that tide quite a bit. I can't even see the lure because there's chop in the water, but I can just about see it now. But you'll certainly know if a bass comes up and takes a swipe at it, and hopefully that's going to be the case. Bloody wind is a nightmare. There's actually quite a bit of weed floating about over here as well. So I might have to head round, back round the other side. Seems to be pretty quiet here. I keep snagging bits of weed. We got a lot of tide running through, so it's bringing a lot of weed through with it as well. I'll give it 2 or 3 more casts and then I might head back over to where I was before. Bang! Absolute smash that was. That's a wrasse. That's why. Bloody hell. I was going to say, that came out of nowhere. Or is it a bass? No, it is a bass, sorry. It is a bass. Beautiful. It looked really dark in the water there. He's heading for that weed. You can see him there, look. Hopefully he's hooked well. I'm going to try and get him up here. That was a smashing take. Whoa. Right then. Come on. There we go, and that's another nice looking bass. Just look at that beauty. That's a fine fish. That is a fine fish. So I just got absolutely slammed, and that was a bit of a weird take. That fish hit the lure. Is this camera off? There we go. But yeah, sorry, that fish hit the lure and just stopped. and I thought, oh, that was just a hit, like it's not connected properly, and then all of a sudden it went bang, 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 bang. Oh, it's a really lovely golden colour. It looked really dark in the water. I thought it was a wrasse at first. I'll just get that hook out. So he's unhooked. Now, it paid to put on that high-vis shad there. But yeah, as I said, that was a really powerful take at first, and then it just kind of almost didn't realise it was hooked. And once it did realise, it started to give a few bangs. Now, it's not a monster, but still a lovely fish. So there we go, and check that out on its tail there. Hope you can see that on camera. That's a recent gash, that, 'cause that's still got blood on it. I'll give you a better show. There we are, there's the bass there. It's a fine fish, a lovely golden colour. Now, you can see there on the tail, this is a fresh wound. So that bass has been in the wars. But I won't waste too much time, I'll get it back now. Yeah, quality. So at the moment, it's just a case of fishing through the weed, really. Sort of having 2 casts and it's fine. 2 more casts and you hit a patch of weed. So it's definitely worth just keep going. But that's what it's like at the moment. So I've come back round the other side now. I'm going to have a few casts with the white shad this time. See if I can get a hat trick in 3 different colours. We'll give it a few casts here. The tide's on the turn now, so it's going to be flooding in already. I can see it's sort of starting to cover some of the reefy bits over there. So we'll give it a few casts here and see if we can hook anything else. If not, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable little trip. And I'll start preparing myself for the trek back up the cliff again. So that's going to do it for my session today. I've had a few more casts with that white shad, but can't find any more bass. Now, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable session. Had 2 bass altogether, 52, 53 centimetre, and the other one I'm guessing was just over 50. One on the Samson Shad, the sandy, and one on the high vis, the chartreuse. So 2 brilliant lures, fantastic for these conditions. Now I'm going to keep this short because my camera's about to run out of battery, but yeah, it's been a great session. I hope you've enjoyed the video, maybe picked up 1 or 2 things, who knows, or as always, just provide a bit of entertainment and see some fish on film. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you on the next one.